Mike Brem.
Fancy bed, I say, Akomia Kayade way, mammy.
Oh, I didn't say, what I
saw now, yeah. What kind of my interpreting? This is how I summed up the Champions League in Tiemko.
A Champions League triumph characterized by comebacks. Okay, a Champions League triumph characterized by comebacks, breakthroughs, and redemption. The once ridiculed project is now the envy of the world.
Nessa the matroni na brofo.
Aye.
Ne tofa bomuane say a Champions League successor. Dear a better honey a comeback. So be a tiako wababion. Dembele has made a comeback to the top of the world. Yeah. Now he's top of discussions. Me sure so no otine ne busu ya ebe yo ma who has an yedi Ballon d'Or on command Dembele di count. That is exactly how he was start. Abra Basa Foko Fano as a potential from Borussia Dortmund. NT one Laporta can maybe say about the potential Kwadia de Dembele won a mapping May. Now we are realizing it. A massive comeback for him. Can ya na season crab Basa Foko Tono. Ebedru be 9 seasons ana. Seme ha meninka. Ebedru be 8-9 seasons. So he's made that solid comeback again. Luis Enrique. Or the Champions League with 2014-2015 year treble, won every trophy at his disposal. Then he went off.
So Dembele 2017,
Tebedu 8 years.
Yeah.
He went off the radar. Speaking of Luis Enrique, no Kenya Spanish national team Ejumano. Then unfortunately tragedy hit him. Nebane Dieno, he would be destabilized. He was sacked after the 2022 FIFA World Cup and World Qatar after Spain ended the tournament in a disappointing fashion. Enrique and a year returned to coaching with Paris Saint-Germain. He's made the comeback again. Now he's on top of the world. Enrique they were being. A lot of comeback stories as regards the UEFA Champions League. Comebacks. Then the breakthroughs. Akomia spoke highly of Desiree Doué, but it's not just him. Breakthrough for João Neves, a breakthrough for Nuno Mendes, breakthrough from William Pacho. A breakthrough season for Paris Saint-Germain. No bien names a winner ya omafe, but they have broken through, They've broken through, and this is where they are. Ebenezer, baby, Nyanko Pondi Omabedruni, and then redemption for Nasser Al-Khelaifi. Okasani na utie ne kasani muna. He looks a person relieved. Asudi ane done so blame games. A man for baby na pointing fingers. Say papa ya not to players neba. He is responsible for spending money unnecessarily. Sika wetua to lure players to play for Paris Saint-Germain. Sika nebo na den pa. Intina success ne mano ne esre omo. But after winning, he feels redeemed. He's been proven right. Decisions taken. So it is a Champions League triumph that has been characterized by comebacks, breakthroughs, and then solid redemption. A once ridiculed project. We nanki at this room. Miankasa Matna studio I be paying. Man City 4J treble na me buy him sa. Qatar for mo buy. Now Abu Dhabi for no munim football mo bibia. My year dia mo be bia to win everything. And so dia mo pen mo nya the ultimate diadem, which is the Champions League. It has not come. But finally, that once ridiculed project, it has become the envy of the world. It's a PSG project, My member is be trend being trail. The goal scorers on the night, a true representation of the PSG project. I said this morning on the Sporty Morning Show. When the chef first go, Ashraf Hakimi, the representation of the PSG project, and say, "Omo colleague moi, the top performing players in the league, or more potential, no more to omo." The first major signing for this PSG project was Javier Pastore. He was then lighting up the Serie A with Palermo. Into Ashraf Hakimi, he was lighting up the Serie A with Inter Milan. Omo kutu ne de nebai. He scored their first goal. Anameboa. Second goal, Desiree Doué. Yes. Again, this PSG project represented them investing in French football. And to where you are so now you're French niba. Now they will come and buy you for big money from a fellow French club. When they do that, they invest money into the French football economy. Mbappé, Oman Koyen, a big transfer from Monaco. A sensational French kid. Bakola, a big potential. A French club. Desiree Doué 50 million euros omo from Stade Rennais. No, another representation of a PSG project. We will need to revisit what I said for Hakimi. In the case of mine, Kivicha Kvaratskhelia, he scored the 4th goal. True or false? He is also a champion from Italy with potential. On the Napoli League, he was a Serie A MVP that season. To come and slot into this side. Then the final icing on the cake, which is the cream that makes everything delicious. Seni Mayulu. Now, man for baby, PSG for the sobo say players or free mom academy major momo, including Nkunku Mono. And come bet me to tell Mama Bobby. Okay, Luis Campos by there has been a readjustment of the PSG project, and then I'm here who are Remo. So Seni Mayulu also scored on the 9 to cement that say, despite the PSG fancy DNA, homegrown talent can also play a part in the success story. So the goal scorers depict the clear project being run by PSG now, and it makes it all beautiful. The game, it was won by the defensive approach of PSG rather than the attack. I'm attacking the soldier. But quite almost fast to defend and fancy. It is what decided the tie.
Say on be a dream call goals in the bona.
Yeah.
Boys. Inter bobo pa any chances.
Me say the PSG without the ball.
Yeah.
It is what won them this game easily.
True.
Game need the Nkombe winning, they were the favorite. But it was the application of their without the ball principles. And as their principles out of possession. And then they win your game, teach you their pressing and regain machinery. It was beautiful to watch. Game Inter were never offered a sniff of a comeback. Right from the start. Shadrach the game ne transitional map ne to so a send the game ne starting in send ewie no obehu de ne fosoro. It is one side, and that is PSG. Intimani akomia adwin he says this is the most one-sided UEFA Champions League final wahwe no correct.
So internet that form.
Yep.
Paris Saint-Germain then they said all frosted.
So right from the zero, from the first minute today, you can see that the XG of Paris Saint-Germain, it keeps on climbing. Abraham no XG no cry one. They scored 2 goals. Ashraf Hakimi, Desiree Doué, and they kept rising. Inter never proceeded beyond an XG of 0.5. Inter XG na course rano 0.4. So, what happened? Let's delve into it. Shadrach Mame, the first picture of PSG's press, we will see something. This was a final, again, where Dembele did not score, but he led with a certain level of selflessness. So, nya 2 assists and ameboa. Okune home team no. Etini a real game no. Enrique Beka said for how Dembele defended. Exactly the point.
It's a road rate meji bidia near Vitinha Munina grounds.
No, but I said Dembele's defensive output alone show merit him winning the Ballon d'Or. Empty checking here. You see clearly this is a build-up play by Inter Milan. Now this is Inter Milan. They love to build up from the back. But they will love to be afforded time to build up from the back because Omodiani a slow build-up play. And then they move into ball circulation with player movement. And how they build up here, it will start with the goalkeeper identifying one center back to pass to. No, must start it. So mostly their wing backs will spread and be in a position to receive. And now say one midfielder will rush in to receive the ball. Now when they do this, the only midfielders na better any attackers no, they will have to have at least one man or free or betimi ball no just to circulate and help with the movement are available on the pitch. What PSG did was that so we will not even allow you time to build up your play. So Shadrach can call image ni be here the Dembele na tete keeper never passing. He's just waiting.
Fresh, we are man for born about.
Yeah, so the moment keep on the day to born at one or bebo. So look at Dembele marking him. Omo here with TV, so we'll see this clearly. So right from the start, before Inter Milan bought the first pass in the build-up phase, PSG were ready to snuff at them.
Mike, what kind of say? Sorry to.
Oh, Brem.
Yeah, starting a game now. No, PSG kick off. No,
Omo control. PSG for Bobo na cha.
Omo control.
Yeah, omo control. Omo say so my omo say there.
There be enya nyoma. Pressing.
I say be do ha.
Yeah.
Asem na no.
So here, almost a Dembele and mark the zone between Acerbi and then the keeper Jan Sommer. Due call Bastoni. So then this is Fabian Ruiz. He is marking Benjamin Pavard. Then there is Vitinha in the middle here occupying Henrik Mkhitaryan. Achraf Hakimi blocking 2 zones. DiMarco so, but he is going to block the channels for DiMarco to pass through, and then also literally blocking the passing range for Bastoni. Bastoni were 2 options here. Either so be passing straight. Either a midfielder or an attacker, or the Bema DiMarco. Hakimi's presence here is to limit the passing options of Bastoni. So what he does here, find DiMarco. Now to the next picture, you find that the moment DiMarco benya ball, they will need to reconvene or restructure or reset their pressing angles. And to the middle ones were in the near keeper. Wadani the chair over. Then Vitinha closely with Mkhitaryan. Hakimi now, since a while successfully in blocking that passing channel to the middle, he now has one person to look up to, which is DiMarco. Then Due has closed up on Bastoni. DiMarco and Saka ball now, he will need to find Acerbi, but Acerbi does not have quite the range. Giancha used to DiMarco and say he is better in terms of precision with his passing. Sadia. Yen limited the passing option of DiMarco. And to be obetimi akwane, either he goes back or he passes to Acerbi. Acerbi know the manner. On to me more pass ni yes, sir. So check. Dembele knows this. Into all hand of Hokran will be pressing why Acerbi. What they will do is that they will close the angles for DiMarco. Then you will want to go long. Long no be fine. Lautaro Martinez. Yeah. Next slide. So I'll call Lautaro Martinez what? Clearly, you will see that Inter Milan will be dispossessed. So, in the space of Lautaro Beflekea Thuram, now Thuram is surrounded by 3 players: Marquinhos, João Neves, and William Pacho. They lose the ball. So, in the space of less than 20 seconds, Inter utilized an effective press to 1, disrupt the build-up play of Inter Milan, and then 2, retrieve the ball. Now, be a PSG possession. No more the attack. A team are watching 2-0. And you're not that from 2-0 or no watch 2 dada, but all my womb mobi now what being your chance now what boetiano internet can be said the best form of defense is to attack. Now in attacking here, PSG attacked Inter Milan without the ball and they were very successful at that. Now Inter to me bobo on said your mopeno, it means they will need to resort to plan B. Plan B near the end, and the Jan Sommer distribution, no, this all call long, near Fanessa, a far na far, and far dia, ye behundi a bayer on later. And tis a Shadrach admire the distributions of Jan Sommer. You will see clearly. Long passes, long passes. The short passing ranges, you know, Kakrebi and within the box. They are and it needs to go beyond the box.
More short or more pressing.
Exactly the point. And Omaya just 2 pictures to evidence this. The first picture, you will see that Yanso menya ball now obebo. Why na ko nesu bi ono Dembele. But on his right, at that time now why na ba Damian. Then there is Vitinha marking Damian. Then who say hono Zalewski, Ana Bastoni, Bakola Cheno. João Neves Ache Barella, then Kvaratskhelia, else watching wine. This is Damian Rada. Inti ya mark obia or park in so. Where do you pass to? Yansoma will need to go long. Second picture as evidence. Again, Dembele pressing Jan Sommer. So passing the corner left, Bastonia. Why the Gina hey? There is a airway, Desiree Doué. Fabian Ruiz Negina midfielder. Then there is Vitinha also occupying the space for Barella to get the ball. Then Kvaratskhelia also waiting here. So in my opinion, what won PSG this game was not the attacking brilliance. It was that zeal, the determination. Say ma intembobo nibi. So let's apply an effective pressing and regain machine. Omo de pressing kwao. They press with purpose. we are pressing to regain possession. And yes, you press on one say ball, you press on ball no near ball. The second goal, it was from an Inter Milan corner kick, a throw in. There's no Dumfries to ball near box in him. Again, PSG be deflect ball near corner. William Pacho see a hen ha ball and corner and then corner china. And the Barella air guard the ball and say entra. Pacho air ball ne free Barella in him. And that ball no both free Barella in him. And they counter attack nearby a second go nearby. So Inter could not match them. One, Simone Inzaghi was out coached by Luis Enrique. Enrique coaching Ebro so. Two, the energy levels and the intensity of PSG's press and overall play, Inter could not match it up, especially in the middle. And 9 in here. And that is how come maybe I was saying raising concerns about the starting lineup of Simone Inzaghi. I think he wanted to repay loyalty than what was actually needed. Oshe game now, Oko Bonnie opponent now. At times, I was so tweak lineup.
PSG in Quadano Dawson.
Chanoglu 9 no, and to me, Vanenko. Make a Taria 9 into me, Vanenko, and Lemes Barella. That's our PSG midfield no. Omo betian Sa guru me ba betian we mu don betian. So they won't allow you to play. So this was a coaching masterclass from Luis Enrique and the perfect application by the playing body. But be with my star of the Champions League final no. Our Ghana. Me sure say Ghana will be predicted 5-0 apart from security na anti-glory.
Me bisa
Saturday no predicted say me tisika so accommodate.
Me bisa Gary me bisa no ase say ana wo ntwa so kan ne wanye ni.
Yes, three were your group mu.
Asamo be sere.
Omo be postino Saturday na pan o kan Friday. Nti Saturday na pan o be postito your WhatsApp group. Ni na mama we onimbo mu.
Say nipa no uzo go straight. Omuza no wanya
Shala ko dey video
no. Can straight into one say me be posti say me Chelsea dey no 4-1.
O dey me ntie.
Omo share first na say
Actually, match no one be
PSG. On be 5 goals.
Actually, match no one be
PSG. On be 5 goals.
Your group nim no and started say yes. Oh, nimbo mu anana dey. Ana mia manu imidu kotum Inter Milan. So she is my real star of the final. Accurate prediction, solid one, and a caps of all was a magical night. I think the final nefe, although say Inter and my contest, but even without it being a no contest, it was still a beautiful final. No, but I think Barca would have given more of a fight than Inter. But there is nothing guaranteed saying Barca be winning. But they would have given more of a fight than the Inter. And it was a Barca there.
We moved 4-1, sir. Now me say Hakimi to score. But I was on the road. It's not mean to me parking.
Oh, me a bet builder. I no man 41 what match no bet builder. Say me Dembele assist. Do a goal. PSG to win. PSG goal. And Inter Milan under 1.5 goals. Corner kicks over 7.5. And Nuno Mendes short.
So Guana to the trade.
No, prayer first half nana me.
So Guana be trade.
Oh, Charlie obende. But me be me do a 2 goals. Or share first goal nana me yes over share 2 goals. Inter no made it no kakra.
Me na Hakimi to score but na me driving na me ntimi.
Won't me here.
The baby na me free but na kwan wa.
Okay.
Steve Bray.
It is
yeah, that's it. You see, you always have to fear the unknown. You see, when you know your enemy, the battle becomes a bit easier. But fear that guy, and that has been the issue and the story of PSG in the final. Yeah. Inter Milan now my game na near expecting. We were expecting a very tough game. Leave you on the edge, but to me Uncle Basa. But on Saturday, make us say a game of tactical chess. The Obenyane the yen never win it. But if Simeone Inzaghi, I feel so arrive here, I think say this game will give him everything. I also dig it deep into the books. I jet mre isuande. Usuya bikande onim no. Why would PSG ditch star names? Normally decide to say yeah, call for potentials, more for the present and the future. It's something that we need to give it a deep thought. You see, throughout the competition, Ediaya born nyina no ye Lami Yama, ne Rafinha nyoma oye. But the grandest stage, no, Edia Aba will be able no a desiring way. So you always have to fear that man who is unknown.
Okay.
Ni awuni mne die, ema wajuma ne simple. Oh, minim say Messiah am pemasem, so minini dilia. This will be my approach. But the awuni mne die, you can't possibly predict the person oye. A brand no do the ball or boy on the day. Clearly, we want a skill set and they say, oh, you'll be a or what the name attribute. But game no more their work was cut out for them. And say, this is how we are approaching the game. So quick transitions. Yen any showboating be our game. And they realize that inter defense no age catch you or midfield and runs no bit my it is any Mike kind no your friend the cage system. You're pinning them to their own area. I am more room. Now at their PSG yes I am the mobility of each and every player. Now Mike they grab the pictures as to how they lost the game. No? There was one picture, I think the fourth one. Oben said Marquinhos now. He's supposed to be the last man. No a far off Inter Milan area. So clearly Osha almost set up now. And I said Obia betime jira baby at any point in time. Now baby yes.
Yes obotu.
Yes a demarcated baby amobia. Yamma game in your game for them. But position be obenya bia at any point in time or game no. And who adwuma was ultimi ye. So Hakimi found himself in the box. Simple tapping. I know, oh yeah. You say I'm build it from the left. At some point, while Kylian say he's the main man, or you're quiet kakra. Not because we need game, but because Dembele no drop it deep. So with the baston in the Achebe Jinano so and to me you did any results. He's always moving. So Inzaghi may have a tactical plan, but tactical plan it has been nullified by the movement of these players. Into ordinarily, Ebiana Achebe Dembele so the guy is moving. So it creates confusion in his mind. And he know when you change all their chauffeurs go no. It was like a rehearsal at the training ground. Obia John him so Obia off and but DeMarco had a nightmare. Meaning say we one game and a rain feeder. But it all comes back to Papa and friend say Nasa Kalaifi. You see, almost story nature and your baby me. You need to give time some time. And when is the right time? The assessor about Honon Sabeka. They spent money. Say football, you want to say senior, you call a Galactico style. And no Marco talk a sitting in Abba. Fancy, would you do pass a Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, any Jinimo, cause that sort of pressing now, or would they offer that?
Why?
AC.
But
don't your group know what is here? They see themselves as almost at par. Until everyone on the field is covering up. And no more yeah. Debbie Amekacho said you cannot talk about the beautiful story of football. No who is the president, who is the chairman. He has suffered pain for 14 years. Disappointment. Sika come here almost 2.something billion. And finally, when the least expected, a competition starts here, when you have 4 starts. Until the last 3 games of the group phase, Anomotimi already discovered themselves. Anomoball by far the toughest games against Liverpool, against Aston Villa, Ekushia Arsenal. And we know just a walk in the park for them. So PSG a deserving competition now or marginal. They've been by far the best team so far. And I mean, Barca fans in the criteria Ben on the desiring as the young player of this. You see, you always have to fear the unknown. Boy and a born or bono or some critique problem in the French national team. The blue war issue.
It will shock you.
In the French national side, a big critique problem. Now Mbappe will be on his toes. Ombeno, but who a teamer?
Doing no crown, no baby, your penny left side or no?
Yes.
Just say, on say Enrique Nama, team number say, Ubiate me bobe, be any position.
Yes.
So most of Quaraskili me by right,
yes.
Do you call left, Bakola Munina or bench.
Yes. Why he will be a better player and then say he's playing under a manager or similarities with Pep Guardiola. Or Mao Kainsa will hear the OPBR, but I'll bet you the way. So, Osaka national team, no, I Didier Deschamps and a manager. So, this boy is a gentleman that we need to keep eyes on. Yes, she say you better enjoy football again. Now, Yanya Lami Yama and Desiree Dewey are announcing itself on the grandest stage of European football. That is the UEFA Champions League. I don't think that Opese player be proved to the world how capable he is better at any point than the UEFA Champions League final. So they deserve it was a total beating. We need the more time to go back to the dressing room for 40 minutes to reassess on which team no park and so cry. There was no way they were going to win. So PSG deserves, and kudos to them, they fought hard and then they deserve this competition.
Wow, Steve, may I say,